The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down 10-7. A minute 52 to play. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes completes to Njoku. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Mahomes. Pass complete to Chubb. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Mahomes to throw it. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mahomes will throw. He's got Njoku over the middle. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mahomes. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Mahomes over the middle. That's caught by Schwartz. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A lot of pressure here for Cade York. This to potentially send us to overtime. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Take it in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime, they've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What do they say?
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. First throw of overtime for Mahomes. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now Chubb running right. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Well, the entire game coming down to this kick from Cade York. This to win it in overtime. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and we will play on here in overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game, and I'll get it done. With this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Brady. Evans has it left side. Tampa.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have after trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On second down, they'll run with White. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And it'll be a hot time in Ybor tonight. The Bucs have won the football game. Well, Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf. And today, that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You put the, you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rockabye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to let me. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottle. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the Riasi, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boy stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not to ride nobody wave, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr,
trust, me taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. They drop with chili. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when we ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Tell my sit Ellie, me I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful that people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cutscene, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Boy, that they gon' know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only cover the money bags and I don't really wanna be famous, man. You know what's up? You know what's up? You pretend, living a lie. You know me gang. You know what's up?
We going crazy, we at the top and we never gon' stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get swayzy. I just got off with a jet and I cry. My I win in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Chirac, Timber, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Lose you back and I hop in the Bama, the world is mine. I'm Tony Montana, I'm Pelican Fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, what a drums at.
My God, oh God, this is Son of God level. The sun, the sky, you can see the vibe. We ride the high, always on a high level. So open up your eyes better. Why these tell me? You can join the journey, you is worthy. Just allow me, no. Kicking down your door. Bloodsuckers, I see this industry is filled with sheep. People that pretend to be something that they will never be. Oh my, I just need some little old peace of mind. The sons of kings, the gurus of gods. The moon, the light, the fools, the facts. My God, oh God, this is Son of God level. The sun, the sky, you can see the vibe. We ride the high, always on a high level. So open up your eyes, baby. I can never be controlled. Let them know. 500 helicopters driving me gunso. But they want you just to envy. Let them see it. I'm the first to say it, now it's time you just believe it. I got too many fakes, made lots of foes. These people cold. Talk down your dreams because they know they can't come close. Don't shake no hands, they'll steal your friends. I walk alone. I see both sides of other siders. You need to grow. I've been watching mine, but I ain't like the others no more. God, I'm learning lessons as I go. You're only wasting time. Tell the devil there's a door. Praying God is only trying to test me for the glory of more. My God, oh God, this is Son of God level. The sun, the sky, you can see the vibe. We ride the high, always on a high level. So open up your eyes better.
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise a bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
About her. Petty, don't matter. Far as that teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Cleveland Browns and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Right to the air is Burrow. Going out wide, finds Chubb. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Oh, fires this one downfield for Chubb. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They begin with a run by Fournette. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Brady's throw here into the hands of Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Brady throwing complete here to Fournette, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Throwing now is Brady. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Brady. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he is going to have a Bucs first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Brady again. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 27, Brady. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Fournette. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So Brady departs, and on is Ryan Succop for the Buccaneer field goal. There, this one will be a 29-yard attempt. Succop's kick is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. So after the INT, it's Brady. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. To throw, it's Brady. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one fall.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one. Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second down and goal. Brady toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Brady to throw. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, as the first half is winding down. And the Buccaneers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Browns drive about to get started. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Throwing on first down is Brady. He completes it to Evans. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Fournette once more on second down. And it's a fumble. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game that has a chance to tighten up considerably.
Joe Tryon there to make the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well. You know, he's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On third down, Burrow. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And he picked up another first down there.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down, back to Fournette. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Brady. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And it's caught. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Fournette. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. Third and goal. Now Brady. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Julio Jones from 6 yards away. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Extra point try now for Succop. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Browns drive about to get started. They will throw on first down with Burrow. He's got Njoku over the middle. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Burrow. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Guys, ready, get it up.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. To the air again, Burrow. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
First down, here's Burrow. Here's Chubb, back-to-back catches for him. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow, he's going to drop this one down for Chubb. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Burrow. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones from 17 yards out. And the Browns are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
it.